All right, all right. Nice, that should be it. Isn't it audio works?
I remember you don't need that.
All right. All right, let's see. Is there a way to get full DMCA free music on the stream? Hmm. I believe there was something. I did watch a Game Theory episode where they said they had a playlist that should be completely free. Let's see if I can find it somewhere.
I have Michael Sykes will cook up for the next season of what declaring the brother of the declaring one of your this season exclusive employment. He used other where's my in the labeled before.
Can I get a transcript.
During the frosted, made me think back underneath that text. A good deal to me, and I could definitely wonder that. Or available. Oh, Genshin, I'm gonna like darkness of one way favor and turn this.
Nope, it was not this episode I saw it in.
Dorko steal line the other week. Law of the Arming High can dig head is just questionize that. The rename your Cassie or something like. Cannot obnoxious responsible for incredible monoxide green. This build is sing ever split screen. Use Aria's image recognition to help me identify mysterious me to I was left Dinitro. It's kind of at this in the book. He evenly is wanted to therefore children mimic things on his face in 19.
Nope, not this one either.
What is door? He answers out for, and so him not the different toys RG. There was the audience. My attention was a burnt Darwin's nap and Elliot control that in the cut line. Actually, yes, that we're in daughter was to talk. Can't I would do buying with need a is draw no let me geology if will still have to pop up so means all across the US.
Maybe I should just try a subscription on Epidemic Sounds at some point. Costs 11 euros, not so bad. All right. Let's try.
0.8 grams of protein per pound of water in East Northwest America.
So we probably don't need this track. Oh, whoops. Alright, let's try again. Is this? Need this. This. We get the adjustment clip. We go to the Fusion page. Let's see if we can recreate this. So we have a Twitch logo we want there. And then we want, oh, whoops. We want transform node. We want a rectangle. Can't add that. Hmm. A rectangle to merge background. And it's because I need a merge node. There. And then I can add this to there. Bingo. We want some. Oh. Nice and smooth. Angle to 90. Yeah, another merge node. Maybe the transforms go in there. Hmm. Is it actually possible for me to get this into a rectangle instead? Doesn't seem like it. Let's see, maybe our friend ChatGPT can maybe help us figure out how we do that. So I need a background node. Like this. Then I can have yeah. Okay. Rectangle goes into background, background goes into merge, merge goes into transform. Get everything back to what it was before. To rectangle and logo in GFusion. What if I say background instead? Maybe it helps to be a bit more specific. No. It's fine, we're just gonna go do it like this for now. Then I just have to live with it being a bit more complicated. We start from there, I suppose. I need a way so the rectangle only moves from one side to the other and not when I decrease the height it doesn't decrease on both on the left and right. I want it to only adjust itself on one side, like kinda lock the side in place. How I do that I'm not 100% sure about though. Maybe a transform node can do it? Hmm. Not the other one. Hmm. Hmm. How do I make it so? Hmm. Pivot. Surely I remember that I saw pivot somewhere. Directly in the rectangle node. Center, yeah. Width, height, pivot. Hmm. Hmm. It would be nice if there was a way to ban people that just spam you with buying viewers. Right, in that case, let's do it so it increases from the middle instead. I need a text note. Oh, whoops. Hmm. Maybe that's the way. Just have the rectangle just go out to both sides and then let the text pop up like that. That could maybe be a bit cool. Hmm. I think this one might give us what we're looking for.
Text reveal animation, let's get to it. Begin by going into Fusion page and add a text node, then keep it selected to make sure you have Inspector panel open, type whatever you want inside of the text box, and adjust the text to your liking. Then once again keep the text node selected and add a rectangle to create a rectangular mask. Now in a preview window, we should see the outlines of the mask. We're going to extend it all the way horizontally by just clicking and dragging, and we're going to shrink it vertically so it is slightly taller than the text. Then select the text node again, go into Shading tab, open position, make sure the time indicator is at the first frame. Then in the offset X and Y, we're going to decrease the Y value to move the text down to the point that it's not visible. Then create a keyframe by clicking on the diamond icon, move 1 second forward, that is 30 frames for me, and we're going to set the Y value back to 0 to move the text to its original position, and this will give us a simple reveal of the text. Now let's add motion blur by going into the settings tab, add motion blur by checking this icon, increase the quality, increase the shutter angle, and adjust the center bias. And lastly, let's adjust the speed of the animation by going into spline, then check the text 1, all of these boxes, then zoom to fit icon, left click somewhere, Control A to select all keyframes, right click, ease out cubic. So this is the kind of graph that will give you, and if we preview this now, we should have this 9.
I think we just found it, boys. Right, you know what? Before we add the text, let's start by making sure that that this animation works first. We have a blur effect on somehow. Doesn't seem like we have any blur effects. I think we can delete all of this. I mean, there gotta be a blur node, right? Yeah. Is there a way to just make it completely disappear? This doesn't do the trick. To make objects disappear.
Today I'm going to show you how to create this text fade animation in DaVinci Resolve. Adjustment clip above your text on the timeline. Now right-click your adjustment clip and select Open in Fusion Page, then select the rectangle tool and resize to fit your text. Under Inspector, modify Soft Edge to 0.1.
Bit in and out.
How to create rectangle reveal text effect with Fusion in DaVinci Resolve. Right-click in the media pool and select New Fusion Composition. Double-click on it to open it on the Fusion page. Drag a background node, then in the inspector, decrease its alpha to 0. Drag a text node and a merge node. Attach background to the merge and merge to media out, and text to the merge. Select the text and in the inspector, type a text and change its properties to your liking. Add another background node. Also, drag a merge node, and drop it after background 1 when the line turns blue. Attach background 2 to the merge node. Select background 2 and change its color. Add a rectangle mask and attach it to the background too and adjust its size to be a little bigger than your text. Only the parts of the background which is under this mask will be visible. Move the playhead to the start of the composition, click on the diamond button next to width, and set it to 0 to create a starting keyframe. Move the playhead to frame 15 and increase width until it covers the text. Move the playhead to frame 134, which is 149 the length of composition minus 15. Click on the diamond button to create a keyframe with current value. Move the playhead to the end and set width to 0. And now we have this rectangle reveal in and out effect. The power of a mask node is that we can apply it to multiple nodes. Drag from the output of the rectangle and attach it to the text. And now both background and text have this reveal effect, but it's not smooth. To smooth it, open up the spline panel and check the rectangle checkbox. Click on this button to see all the keyframes. Select the two middle keyframes and press the F key to add a curve to the line. And drag the handles if you want a more curvy line. Now go back to the edit page and drag the composition into timeline. And now we have this smooth center reveal text. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I hope you found this useful. Attach background 2 to the head to frame 100 and head to frame 15 and increase width until it covers. The text.
So in our case, this will be media out. I think one day I probably need a full best practice course on how to use DaVinci Resolve. I feel like I'm doing a bunch of things that I shouldn't be doing just because I don't know better. And I feel like that's going to create a bunch of trouble for me in the future.
Move the play.
So let's try this. So here we make it full alpha. That's the background node, which it doesn't want to do. Did it always have this function? Whatever. Okay. And just like this.
playhead to frame 134, which is 140 parts of the background which is under this mask will be visible. Move the playhead to the start of the composition, click on the diamond button next to width, and set it to 0 to create a starting keyframe. Move the playhead to frame 15 and increase width until it covers the text. Move the playhead to frame 130. Click on the rectangle reveal in and out editable nodes. Drag from the output of the rectangle and attach it to the text. And now both background and text have this reveal effect, but it's not smooth.
I can attach it to as much as I want. Oh, whoops. What the? Hmm. What is this? So if, hmm. Why can't I not attach it to this instead? Don't understand what's happening here. It's like it's kind of stuck in the background and I have to move it forward somehow. There's something I don't understand here for sure.
And we're going to merge it over this. So we drag this in. And that's not that big a deal if you know that that's happening. But by default, the first thing that you connect to a merge is going to be the background. So you can kind of save yourself a little grief just by connecting your background to your merge first and then connecting your foreground. Then you don't have to worry about it too much. It automatically connects it where it's supposed to be. Another way to sort of avoid this whole kerfuffle is to take the output of your foreground and just drag it over the output of your background like this. And that will automatically make a merge node, and it will automatically connect the foreground to the foreground and the background to the background. And what's cool about this is you don't even have to connect this usually, because if this is gone, we can just take the output of our text one, put it on the output of our merge one, and look at that. It's already doing things. So if things aren't acting the way that they're supposed to, it's probably because you have your foreground and your background switched. It seems really simple. You know, I run into this all the time, especially with people who are new to Fusion. And honestly, I probably do this a couple times a week too. And I go, what is wrong? Why doesn't this show up? Oh, it's because I have stuff switched. The other thing that's really important to remember about the merge node is that the comp size, kind of the layer size, is set by the background of the merge. So for instance, let's just take away this text real quick. I have this fake phone screen being added over our footage here, and that works fine. And if we go up here to the upper right, we see this says 1920 by 1080. That's because our original footage is 1920 by 1080. But we have this still image for our phone screen, which is 430 by 430. And we're color correcting it and cropping it, transforming it, and corner positioning it to be over that phone screen. So what happens when we switch the merge foreground and background? I'll hit Control T and switch that. Things go crazy. This is in our media out. This is our final comp. It's 184 by 326. And it just doesn't make any sense why we would do that, right? Well, the reason is because the background for the whole comp, the most background, which would be this right here, this corner positioner, is guess what? 184 by 326. And so it sets the comp size based on that background. This can be a real problem when you have this kind of mismatched resolution. And so you want to be really careful and aware of that. And there are various ways to kind of deal with this and put things on a bigger canvas if you need to. Like, let's say we did need this in the background, but it's 430 by 430. If you want to learn more about that, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about kind of matting background connected to the green input, which is the foreground. With a merge node, the yellow input is always your background. The green input is always your foreground. And so this is a really easy mistake to make because it looks, like I said, almost right. But what we really need to do is disconnect this stuff and connect our background to our background input and our text to our foreground input. And look, now it's doing what it's supposed to do. There we go. It's not as bad as all that. The other thing you can do if you find yourself in this situation is if you select this merge node and hit Control T, it will switch the foreground and background because
Control T. Oh my god. I think I just found the issue. Oh, now this jumps to the foreground. Okay. Hmm.
Hi, my name is PG. Let me not waste your time. So in the duo contest, I was about to mask a bunch of stuff, and then I realized I had to do a masking tutorial as well. So why don't I just combine it into one if I'm already doing a bunch of masking? So that's what I'm doing now. If you don't know what masking is a tool in editing programs that allows you to limit an effect to a certain area or cut out a certain section of footage. Basically, masking is like using a cookie cutter to limit where an effect or footage is visible. Say you want to use a mask in order to cut out a moving character, and then you want to put text behind them. It's kind of what I'm doing with Sumi right here. And I'm going to teach you how to use the polygon mask, and we're going to animate a mask around Sumi. So first thing we have to do is get a polygon mask, which you can get from right here. Put it below where we can plug it in. We're going to plug it into here. I'll explain this a little later. But I'm going to go to the first frame, and then we're going to mask her out. So when we mask, make sure you have the polygon mask highlighted. You want to zoom in, you hold down Control, and you scroll in. And if you want to drag around like this, you just use the middle mouse button. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to draw lines all around her. When we just start clicking like this. Just going to draw a line around her. Usually you want to put your points on the corners, or as close to the lines as possible. And you see how I was putting it on the corners right now.
Mm-hmm. It says ChatGPT, see if it can help me figure out why the logo disappears whenever I try to apply the rectangle mask, because that is not supposed to happen. At least that's not the intended effect that I want, to say the least. Can I do that? Oh my god. Haha. This is so nice. Finally stuff starts to work. All right. All right. So let's see if we can start doing some animation. All right, so we want the mask to completely disappear on frame 1. And how many frames per second are we? 24 seconds. Then we make the height around here, should be sufficient. Nice. .8 grams of. Okay, what happens there? 0.8 grams of protein. 0.8 gram. 0.8 gram. 0.8 It's a bit too smooth. And we want to ease out in 0.8 grams of protein. 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 quite nice. Something else? .8 grams of protein. 0.8 0.8 grams. Wait, it disappeared. 0.8
0.8.
Because I accidentally hit Control C. Or Z.
0.8.
I like that more.
Grams of 0.8. 0.8 grams of 0.8 grams of 0.8 0.8
Oh, that's quite nice.
0.8 grams 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8
I like that. I think that looks really nice.
0.8 0.8
Don't you think so as well?
Point 8 80 point 8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 grams of 0.8
That and that doesn't work because of the mask.
0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8
It wasn't that one. Which one was it? Oh, then that's one.
0.8
This is the one. Let's try go with this one.
0.8 point.
But do we really?
0.8. 0.8.
I think that probably is just going to make it a bit more difficult to animate, I think.
0.8. 0.8.
Bit too much.
Point 8. 0.8. 0.8. 0.8.
Yeah, it's that one.
No.
Close that. And now we just want this to follow so keyframe. Let's go all the way back. Is it keyframe?
0.8.
And then at keyframe 24, we want this to be there. And now we want the ease out to be the exact same. Out cubic.
0.8. 0.8. 0.8.
It goes up
0.8. 0.8. 0.8. 0.8. No.
you have
0.8. 0.8. 0.8. 0.8. 0.8.
we wanted to move just a little bit slower in the beginning, I think. So what if we do this?
0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8
A little bit faster.
0.8
A little bit slower.
0.8 0.8.
To be fair, I think it's probably. Can we do this frame by frame? We actually can. Wait, where is the
0.8 gram.
Oh, because I removed the keyframe, then it just starts.
No. 0.8
So we want that there. We just keep moving a little bit. Nice.
0.8 0.8
That is so perfect.
0.8
Nice.
0.8
All right. And now we want to add
0.8 no. 0.8
And now we want text node. Let me get that Twitch purple. Something like that. Increase the size a little bit. See where I want to set it. Layout. We want it to end like somewhere around here, I think. I don't even think that we need to do much animation on this. I think it's completely fine that the rectangle probably just revealed the text. I think that's probably the best idea. At least I think that's what's going to look the best. So give it a black outline. Actually don't think that it does much for the text. I think it actually makes it worse by giving the text an outline. Let's remove the outline. It doesn't look particularly nice. Nah, doesn't look nice either. What about a white outline, maybe? Purple outline? No, definitely not. Absolutely, definitely not. Oh, opacity maybe. What if we just make the outline a little bit subtle, maybe? Absolutely no difference. Okay. All right. I think this is about what we want. Hmm. All right. The question is now, though, how do I save all of this? Because now I have a nice animation. And what I would like to do is I would like to be able to do the same thing for future videos. So I can just save this and then I can just move it wherever I want. Save Fusion animations. Oh, future videos.
After you work in Fusion for a little bit, you might be wondering, how do I export a Fusion comp so that I can use it in other projects? And how do I kind of save it separately from my project? And is there any way to do such a thing? Well, yes, and here's a neat little way to do that. Here we have a Fusion comp that I've made. It's just some text going on the screen. And let's say these are the titles for a show that I'm doing. Maybe it's a series, where there are several different episodes and that kind of thing. And maybe we want to take this composition and export it to somewhere on our hard drive to kind of back it up. Maybe we want to send this to somebody else. Well, quick way to do this is just to go up to File, Export, Fusion Composition. This will make a .comp file, which is a Fusion composition file, so that now if I have another project, we'll just say project 2, and I want to add this to the timeline, I can right click on here and say new Fusion composition, and we'll say title, and I can double click that and open it. And then in the Fusion page, I can just go up to File, Import, Fusion composition. I'll pick this .comp, and it will replace my comp with this comp, and it will come in nicely. And I have all of my nodes, and it's easily editable and all that stuff. So if I want to make, a different color background or whatever, I can do such things. Very, very easy. And of course, I can drag this into my timeline and have that be a thing. Couple little gotchas, things to mention about this is that in the edit page, if you go File, Import, you'll notice that Fusion Composition is grayed out. That's because it wants to import this directly into an existing Fusion composition. So it's kind of replacing your current composition with that new composition. If you know that's how it works, not a big deal, but that kind of threw me off at first. This is just a nice way to do it if you're a little bit more familiar with Fusion and you want to maybe do something quick, or you don't want to go through making this into a title, exporting the macro and re-importing it and all of that stuff. Maybe you're just going to use it a couple times. This kind of thing is pretty slick. And of course, there's the benefit of having this comp as an external file that you can send to somebody. You can open this in Fusion proper if your friend has that or something like that. Pretty neat little overlooked feature, I would say. If you want some more guidance on making cool things in Fusion,
it's nice you can export it and such, but can you just save it as a Fusion effect? I mean, so I don't have to go through all the important stuff, where I can just say, select effect, select that animation and apply it.
So you've spent a ton of time and effort making a sick effect or title or transition or whatever the heck you've done, and now you want to save it so you can use it in future projects. And the only problem is you have no idea how to save it. So that's why in this video I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of saving your Fusion masterpiece so that you can reuse on all of your projects until Jesus comes back. All that stuff and more coming up. But first, if you're new here, my name is Billy Ripka and I make weekly DaVinci Resolve tutorials about different effects, transitions, and workflows that'll help you become a better editor. So if you want to level up your editing skills, click the subscribe button and the bell notification to stay up to date on the newest videos put out. But let's get into it. Alright, so now that we're in DaVinci Resolve, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how you can save any and all Fusion creations so that you can use them in future projects. So if you're not already in Fusion, get in there. We have to be in Fusion for this. And by the way, this subscribe button is from my new YouTube Assets Starter Pack, which has all of the assets you need to bring your YouTube videos to the next level. So if you're interested in doing that, click the link in the description and check it out. Anyway, so once we're in the Fusion tab, we can see our effect that we want to save. Now we're going to go and highlight all of the nodes make up our effect. And you can also select the media out node. You don't have to. Personally, I don't, because in most, if not all Fusion compositions, there's already a default media out node. So I really don't see the reason why I have to save the media out node when there's already going to be a media out node in the project that I'm making. So once you have everything highlighted, click on any of the highlighted nodes and select settings. And in the settings drop-down menu, click on Save As. Then just go ahead and name your file. I'm just going to name mine Test because why not?
It's the same as before.
Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can save nodes or save your Fusion compositions and then import them for later use. So right now I have this Fusion composition, as you can see. So this is a simple Fusion composition, simple motion graphics that I have. So what you can do is go ahead and select all of your nodes in this composition and simply go ahead and right click. There will be a settings option, and here you can see that we have an option of save as. So if you click on this, this will give you an option to save your Fusion composition. So go ahead and save this on your system, and once you have saved that, you will find that there will be a file with a .settings extension. So let's go ahead and save this as our font 1. And now what
What about, I heard there's something called Fusion macros as well, so it should be very similar.
This is a quick tutorial on how to save and create your own DaVinci Resolve presets, also known as macros, which might sound unfamiliar, but it's super simple and will save you a ton of time, allowing us to drag and drop pre-built effects straight on the edit page with custom controls, or add pre-built node trees in Fusion at the click of a button. We can use this grid generator I made here as an example, but the process is the same for most presets in Resolve. This is linked below for free if you want to grab it. Most presets will be these DRFX files, which are super easy to install. If I download the file here, all I need to do is double click it and it will automatically open Resolve to install the preset. Then if I go to the edit page and open the effects tab in the top left, under generators it will be in its own section as a drag and drop preset. And when we drag it on the timeline, we even get some easy to access controls here to make adjustments straight from the edit page, like changing the colors or animating it with some simple keyframes. And if you want to, you can even open this clip in the Fusion page and ungroup the nodes by double clicking to see exactly how the preset was made, which is obviously super convenient and can save us the time of building things from scratch or making changes in the Fusion page. But if you want to make your own presets that you can drag, drop, and adjust, I'll show that process now. Let's say I have this grid background I made in Fusion and I want to save it to the edit page. This is just a background, a grid, and some effects applied. And maybe I want to be able to customize things like the colors or the strength of those effects straight from the edit page once this is saved. All I need to do is highlight all of the nodes except the media out. We'll right click this node here, go up to macro and hit create macro. It will pop up this kind of confusing looking window. You don't need to mess with any of this if you don't want to. You can just leave it the way it is and it will still work fine. You just won't have the custom controls once it's saved. But one thing you will want to do is rename this preset to whatever you want to call it here. I'll call it grid generator. And if you want to have specific controls available on the edit page for easier access, this is where you do that. You can check these boxes to have them appear as controls in the inspector panel once this is saved. You don't need to follow along with this, but just as an example to show you what it does, if I want to be able to customize the color from the edit page once this is saved as a preset, I just need to find my background node in this list. I can collapse this image panel and go down to color. You can check these boxes which correspond to the controls in the inspector panel to give us easier access to those controls once this is saved as a preset. For customizing the color and the gradient, I'm just going to check a bunch of these boxes. I can also rename type here to background color if I want to. Maybe that makes more sense to me. This is optional, but it can be convenient for making adjustments without the need to open the Fusion page. When done, we can just hit these three dots up here or hit File and hit Save as Group. By default, it will prompt you to save this .setting file to the Fusion macro folder. If you save it here, it will be available to add to any Fusion composition as a node group straight from the tool menu, which can be convenient if you like to work in Fusion. But the quickest way to save this as a drag and drop preset to the edit page would be to go to the file path up here and click Fusion, go down to Templates, then Edit, and I want to save this in the generator section. Now that it's saved, I should be able to go back to the edit page and find grid generator under the effects tab, but since the most recent update this hasn't been working properly for me for some reason, it might be a bug or something that they'll just fix soon. But if you plan on distributing these presets or installing multiple at a time, you'll probably want to bundle them into a DRFX file anyway. To do that, we just need to open another file window, and somewhere on our computer, it doesn't really matter where, we need to create a new folder called edit. Then inside of that folder, we need to make another one and call this generators. We're basically mapping out the file path for Resolve. Then inside of generators, I'm going to create another subfolder and call it custom generators. Then I can go back to Fusion and I want to save this macro inside of the custom generators folder that we just created. Now that it's in the right place, we can also add a PNG to this folder, which would act as a little thumbnail on the edit page if you want that. You just need to give it the same name as your .setting file, but with a PNG file extension instead. And now that we have everything set up, we can go back to the edit folder, which we created initially. You can select it and then right-click it to compress it to a zip archive, and then we can rename it to whatever we want to call our preset and change the file.
Oh yeah. Oh, whoops. We want this to be part of the mask as well. This.
.8
Okay, that did not happen well. 0.8. 0.8. 0.8. I mean, it's probably just because it's me who don't know how to use Fusion properly, but I feel like that whenever I try to do something, it never does what I expect it to do, even if I have done it multiple times before. It's like here, for instance, I added the rectangle mask to the merge node that was connected with the median and the transform nodes, and then it masked the Twitch logo properly. But now, when I want to do the same thing for my text, it doesn't work the same way. And why is that? So now it's there. As it should be. Okay, now what can I change the font on this? It doesn't look particularly nice in my opinion. Can I search or do I just have to scroll? Classic Verdana. Times New Roman. That brings me back to university. Should we just take this one? What is the most common font that people use in video editing? Bebas Neo. It's not here. It's just something you guys download. Avenue. That one is not here either. Oswald Barrow and Montserrat. None of them are here though. I mean, I can't find any of the fonts that people recommend in here. You can also just stay with Open Sans. Oh, Bolt. Semi-bolt. Increase the size. Like this. I think that's probably fine. 0.8. Um. .8 0.8 0.8 0.8 it was quite nice. 0.8 0.8 0.8 0.8 I like this. Quite simple and easy. Alright, what about the music? Folder and call it DaVinci. Let's call it assets. macros. You know, 0.8 grams. 0.8 grams of protein per pound of weight that you have, and the kilograms is also like 1.4 or something like that.